Hello, it's Ashley with At Home with Ashley, and this week I thought we could do 3 vintage inspired Christmas decoration things. I was watching Little Women yesterday, and I just love like the old fashioned vibes, but I'll do it with my colors and with my style. So I think that'll be really fun. The first thing I'm planning is I want to make some paper chains for my living room to like hang from the ceiling to make it extra festive. But what I don't like about paper chains is storing them. They get all smushed and like they're not great year to year. But if you make them out of ribbon and hot glue, you can reuse them. So I have a ton of ribbon. I have it left over from when I made my Christmas tree skirt. So we're just gonna use that. And I think it'll be really cute. Okay, so my ribbon is 1.5 inches wide and I'm cutting it to be 8 inches long. And then all you gotta do is use the hot glue gun to close it and repeat over and over again. So this is a good project to do while you're like watching a show or listening to an audiobook because it can get kind of boring. So when I was first figuring out this project, I was wondering if I should do this like, all like pink, like a row of pink, or if I should do it rainbow. And I ended up with rainbow because I have so many colors, I think like 13 or 14, and I could only really do 8 the other way. So this way I can use more color and I evenly take from each of the rows, which like, I have all this ribbon, but I don't want to just have like a tiny bit of one color. I think this is looking really cute. I started hanging it and I am using white duct tape for this. I'd actually suggest using white gaffer's tape. That's like used for photography, like when you're doing photo shoots to tape stuff down and then it comes off cleaner. I didn't have some. So I used the duct tape and that blended in perfect with my white ceiling. I'm just gonna have to be careful when I take it off. And I am just taping it in place. Only one strand, I had to add a bit more. So each of them, I think I have like 16 different things of ribbon, and then it was like 3 sets of that was how long each corner was. And I honestly think I could have gone and done even more, but I was kind of like, I'm ready to be done. But it looks so festive. It's so cute. My ceiling is just so plain and boring, so to add something that kind of like tints the room and like makes it feel cool on the ceiling, it feels like a party when you walk in the room, which is very fun. I love the vibes. I love that because I am using ribbon, I will be able to store this. My friend Rachel from Banyan Bridges did this, and I was like, I like the paper chain look, but I didn't want to have to remake them every year because the paper would get like folded up in storage, but the ribbon should store very nicely, so I'm excited to pull this out every year. The second project I'm doing for our vintage inspired Christmas DIYs is a Christmas tree made out of brooches and jewelry, and I'm really excited about this. I've been wanting to make it for years. If you look for buying these online, they're expensive, really expensive, like $150, $200. So I'm like, I can find it for cheaper and do it myself. And it's quite the hunt, so I understand why people charge so much. I went to a bunch of secondhand stores, vintage stores in my area, and bought as much as I could. It was very fun to search for these, and I'm doing kind of a rainbow look. So I found some, a lot of them I got $1 a piece, which I feel like is such a good price. I ended up spending like $40 on jewelry, and then I brought it all home, and I also got a $1.50 frame from the thrift store, and I am painting that like a minty color and adding some gold touches to it just to kind of bring it back to life. I didn't love the brown personally, but it was a cheap frame, so I'm excited to use it. Next, we're going to measure the back of the picture frame, and that's so we can cut a piece of foam core that's the exact same size as the backing of the frame, and make sure to put it inside the frame so you can make sure it's a good fit, because if it's not, you can just trim it down, and this is the best time to do that. So once you know that it fits really good with maybe a little wiggle room, we are going to cut some fabric, and I am just using like this white silky fabric I had on hand, and I'm cutting it to be 2 inches larger than the foam core. Usually people use velvet for this project, so if you have some, that would be a great option, but since I already had this, I thought it would be good. I gave it a quick ironing to get out the wrinkles, and then I covered the foam core with the fabric and wrapped it around the back and glued it down, and I made sure to pull it nice and tight so that it'll be taut on the front and can hold the jewelry really nicely. Okay, so next we're going to use pliers or wire cutters to remove the pins, the clasps, the backs of the jewelry. This will help it so the pieces lay flat against the background. If you are going to use the foam core, you can just leave like the back of the pointy earrings in and like stab those through. But personally, I just removed everything because it kind of gives you a cleaner, more professional look when you're assembling things, and it's just easier. So this is an important step coming up. You're going to use your measuring tape. You're going to find the center of the background and use a pin to mark the center. And then for the bottom, I'm also using 2 pins about a 1/2 inch up and over, just on both sides of the tree. And this is going to set the parameters for what will be a beautiful symmetrical tree. In all transparency, I made this first and hated it and had to tear everything off because I didn't pay enough attention to details like this, and this is really important to just like make sure it's looking really good. So now you're going to want to arrange your jewelry pieces on the background in the shape of a Christmas tree. You're going to start with like a nice piece right in the middle, and then do your corner pieces. I like using a brooch in the middle of the tree and then using a set of earrings on either side to create symmetry. Once you have the look down that you want, you're just going to use glue to tack it in place. I'm using hot glue, and I really liked using hot glue because if I ended up putting something in a bad spot, I could just pull it off, remove the glue, and try again. And then as I went, I also layered smaller items over the gaps, and it was really nice to have tweezers for this to kind of fill in like the tiny pieces. I used some beads to fill in any of the little gaps as well, and it also helped me with my color story since I'm doing this in like the rainbow colors, as you can see. I added a star for the top, and then I spent a while cleaning up all the hot glue strands because as you can see they got pretty nasty. And then for assembly, I put the foam core back in where like the glass and the backing would have been, and then just closed the glass to finish it off. I love how it turned out. The rainbow color is so fun, all the brooches together, and it's fun to see like my favorite ones I found thrifting, like a little butterfly in the middle, and I have like these bunnies. I was born on Easter, so I love anything spring, which is perfect for my bright colored holiday decor. Anyway, I'm really happy with how that one turned out, and it was fun to make something that's just like been on my mind for years that I've wanted to bring together. Okay, the last project we are making are pomander balls, and this is when you take fresh oranges and whole cloves, stuff you might have in your kitchen but definitely can get from the grocery store. So to make the pomanders, you poke holes in the orange and then you put the cloves in, and it like brings out the scent of the orange, and then it also brings out the scent of the clove, and it smells so good. So if you're not into artificial fragrances like with like room sprays or something like that, this is a great way to make your house smell so good. So it's really fun to make too because you can do a lot of different patterns with it, and it's just like kind of a cozy craft you could do while you're watching a movie. Super easy, kids can do this, very simple. I just used a toothpick when I was putting my hole in. You could use a bigger skewer if you want as well. And I am just using the little cutie oranges because that's the size I wanted. I wanted something petite, but you could do anything. It's just really fun. So once all of my oranges were made, I also tied on little satin bows, and I don't know if this step was necessary. It kind of gets lost later on, but you know, any chance for me to like make it as cute as possible. So to hold everything, I have a pot I just had in my shed, and it has dirt in it already. So I am using a foam cone and then some skewers to attach the cone to the planter, and because there's already dirt in it, it's kind of holding it up. And I'm not going to ever eat these oranges, so I don't care if they like are around dirt. And then kind of the fun thing is now you can put toothpicks inside the back of the pomander balls and stick them into the topiary, and it makes this really cute piece. The top of my topiary, I ran out of like cloves, and so I decided to just cut the top off and put a big bow on top and attach that with hot glue, and it looks very cute. And then there's some spaces between the oranges where you can see the space, and you could add like evergreen or like pieces of garland to it. I just have cute faux flowers, so I'm just poking those in. And pomander balls are something that people have been making around Christmas time for hundreds of years. And it's kind of fun to take this traditional craft and just like put my own spin on it and make it look really cute in my house. And I think it looks amazing, and I love the smell. So it's really a fun thing that you could make every year if you enjoy making this. But definitely if you want your house to smell good, try this one out. Anyway, those are my 3 vintage inspired Christmas crafts. Please let me know which one was your favorite. I'm still obsessing over the chain in my living room. We ended up adding more, and it's even cuter, and I'm like, maybe we'll add some snowflakes, and it's kind of fun. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already, I would love if you subscribed.